Beautiful people, it's yours truly, Tammy B, coming to you with another session of Real Talk with Tammy B and Company, the show where we are recording live so that you, amazing people, can engage in the conversation with us. So, if you are watching via another platform, I do invite you to jump on over to YouTube if you want to actively engage in the conversation. And if you are on YouTube, please, sir, please, ma'am, do not be quiet. We feed off of your energy and appreciate it. So drop us questions and or comments throughout the talk. And also, before we get started, if you are not part of our community, I invite you to join us by subscribing as we are here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content, to which I am always grateful for you all being with us. And this is funny. It's the third Wednesday of the month, and we are having our Real Men Real Talk conversation. Now, listen, the men are they coming. They just running a little late. In fact, I had to throw a joke at them after I got late number 3. I was like, it's gonna be hard for me to have a men's talk with no men, but guess who's here? Our man, Mr. Shelly Sims, who is our resident realtor. Hey, Shelly.
Hello, 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 hello. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and all that good
All
stuff.
that.
They are popping in. Hey, Kevin.
How you doing, Tammy?
Hey, I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good as well.
Good. Hey, Rondi.
What's happening, folks? How's everybody?
Rondi, we are wonderful. We are wonderful. How's life out there in Cali?
It's rainy today. We're a little wet today. But other than that, Cali's Cali.
Cali is Cali. Well, listen, Georgia hasn't been Georgia because it's been we Kevin laughing because he know like it's been so cold in Georgia that I had to ask the question on my team chat at my corporate job. I said, so when did 27 become warm? When the day before started at 20? That's because 27 degrees actually felt a little warm yesterday. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it did. But you get used to it when you get out here because I was in New Orleans this weekend. I was telling one of my friends that it gets 17 degrees. He like, hold up, bro, 17. But the wind don't blow out here as much. Like in New Orleans, it could be 50 degrees. And 50 degrees will give you pneumonia because the wind blowing off the river and the lake. So it'd be it's like a different type of cold. Like the wind be kind of still out here, so it don't be as bad.
Oh, yeah, and you right. Cause Sunday, me and one of my girlfriends was out and it was in the 40s, and I think it might have already started feeling like the 30s because that wind was not playing. It wasn't playing at all. So, but Rondi, what's the temperature out there with the rain?
We in the high 50s, mid 50s.
You didn't feel comfortable answering that question after we sit here talk about the 20s, huh?
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of privileged, People back there, 20s. I'm like, woo.
But you know what? It's crazy because it's actually upper 50s right now. It was like 20-something this morning. The temperature change out here, the range be like 40 degrees in one day.
That is so true. That's true. But no, Rodney, you sound like me when I had moved back to Florida for 9 years, and people up here would ask me, so what's the temperature like down there? I said, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. So I that's why I was able to laugh because I knew exactly what you was doing because you was like,
we not like Southern California. Southern California right now, it's about mid-70s.
Oh, what part you in?
I'm in Northern California.
Oh,
North,
all right,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a different. That's a
Up
big
here in
difference.
Oakland, San Francisco. We get a little chill up here. It's not LA and San Diego. Maybe the coldest it gets down there, maybe 68, 69.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, right.
Blasphemy. But Shelly, he talking. Well, let's see, Colorado. This shouldn't even be affecting you right now.
You know what's crazy is it isn't, but I done got spoiled out here these past few years, and I love the heat. So when it do get cold, I be in shock. Like, yeah, I done got spoiled. I don't even be wanting to go home no more until the summer.
Why would you go home in the wintertime?
I love the snow. I ski and everything, so I just been out here spoiled. So
look,
yeah.
Yeah.
The snow is when you get your money out there because everybody's sitting at home. So the ones that dare to venture out get all the spoils.
Look, okay, I will because, and you know what, you're absolutely right, because I would be one sitting at home. Like when Atlanta we had 2 snow days literally back to back earlier this year, and I probably was the only fool in Atlanta happy because I was able to stay. I had my snacks, I had my TV. I was so good.
Hey, you said snow days like it's snow. Y'all, I bet one flake probably just fell and everybody zoomed in.
No, come on now. Hold on, Shelly. You was here.
It was, it wasn't no snow.
It was. Come on, man. See that's subject to perception. Your perception being from Colorado means it's no snow. Yeah. But for those of us who are from here, inward, it was snow. Okay.
Yeah, I was out here. They said it's snowing, stores is closed. I'm like, it's not even sticking. Like, what do you mean?
It did stick. Shelly, stop. Come on now. You making up stuff.
In Colorado, if it get 1 or 2 feet, then we like, okay, it's snowing.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 inches out here, bro. You get an inch out here, that's gonna shut the whole game down.
Hey, and it'd be an inch just on the grass.
Yep.
Okay, see, this conversation going nowhere. This conversation
an inch only on the grass in one neighborhood in a city.
That's Shelly. That come on. No, I'm not gonna let you sit here and tell that now, because you are not speaking true. The whole city of Atlanta was flooded with snow. People were snowed in. There were pileups. There were, even people did a viral video that, drifting in the road. And come on now, give us that credit.
It freezes. It ain't because of the snow. It's because of the freeze. It'd be black ice, and y'all scared of that.
Yeah, black ice.
Okay, so
well, let's say it'd be white ice.
With white ice.
I'm tired of everything black being bad. Like, it was some white ice out there.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I can't with you. I can't. I'm sorry. Okay, viewers, I apologize, because there's no winning with Shelly, because he done renamed the black ice, white ice, all kind of stuff. But we had snow here in Atlanta. It shut the city down. And whether it's 1 inch, 2 inch, or 5 feet, it's still snow. Okay, so that's our story, and we're sticking to it. So I do want to acknowledge, for those who don't recall, Kevin was on our show earlier this year, and he was giving us some really good tax advice. And so he and I have been in conversation recently, and I invited him to be a part of the men's talk. So this way you guys get different perspectives. You already got the standing crew, which William won't be with us this evening, so we already sent him happy holidays. Troy is running a little late, but he will be with us. And Daryl is also running a little late too, but he's going to be with us as well. And right, Wood Sprite, white. Oh, see, white. Okay, so y'all, the chat says Wood Sprite says white ice is the ICE, Immigration Control Enforcement. See, y'all play too much.
I, that's a good audience though. They pin they on top of it. Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, um so fellas, what's good? How was y'all Thanksgiving? How
Oh,
are
cool.
things in the world of the menses these days?
It ain't bad. Nothing too much to complain about. Just ready to get busy with me getting busy for this tax season with this crazy one big beautiful bill thing. Gonna have everybody confused between that and this crazy healthcare, this marketplace insurance stuff. Just kind of been like a. It just made the whole situation different. It took something that was easy and just
Mhm.
made it just totally difficult.
Isn't that how our current administration functions?
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah. Maybe you might have to come back and talk to us about that, because that, you know, I don't I can't even put my words together for that particular one, because that.
Yeah, I did a workshop today in the office on it. We had a couple of business owners that came up and there, 'cause really just showing people what they need to be focusing on just for this year when they file the taxes in 2025. Because
Mhm,
anything they saying that's gonna happen in 2026, you don't know by then. By the time you file, that stuff might change. I don't specialize in giving people bad information. I don't want to give somebody the information and they be stuck to that information and they end up changing. So I want to kind of give it time for it to
mhm.
change, and then later on during 2026, when I know it's official, then I let them know because it ain't gonna take effect till they file the taxes anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Rondi, what's good with you? Like, by the way, did you get a chance to have a conversation with that YN last month about giving the ON that vitamin that he gave him?
You can't be trusting them YNs, man. I don't know, but sticking to that, it's really interesting because you brought up Thanksgiving, and
Uh-huh.
and you know, I love any time that the family gets together,
Right.
right? And it's just beautiful, and it's just interesting to see how things change. I guess at one point coming to these functions, I was a YN, and 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 now I for the last few years I've been UNC. I've been UNC. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know. I may be moving into that OG in a minute. I don't know.
ON.
Yeah, ON, right? um, but it's always interesting to see some of the the younger family members in some of the roles that they end up taking up, and how they mature, and seeing their maturation process, and seeing some of the nieces and really take some responsibilities, and how the family um, gets together,
Mm-hmm.
taking some of those responsibility roles. The YNs they they just YNs. They just wilding, right? And it takes YNs a minute to get out of that wilding stage. Um, I guess I was one at some point. Um, YNs would come in for a minute, fix them a plate, and be gone. Man, come on, sit down for a minute.
They got stuff to do.
Yeah, but yeah. holidays are just a blessing. Anytime we can come together as a family, I really enjoy it. Um, I'm enjoying it now, even more now that I'm getting a little older now, and seeing some of the young folks step up. I'm like, yeah, all right, I see you. I see you, young guy. I see you. I see you, young lady. I see what you're doing. I appreciate you.
That's
Yeah.
good. And you know, that's what, like even talks like this is about. So the younger generation can see and hear things that, hear a unk say like, it's okay to sit down for a minute, be present with the family.
Yeah.
Um, I used to come and get the plate and leave before, but now that I'm up there, I can look back and appreciate this because these days, first of all, time has sped up, so it's going really fast.
Right.
And you can't even take anybody for granted.
Hmm.
You really want to cherish them and spend time with them as much as you possibly can.
Right. Right. Yeah. You want to get to know them. You want to have this conversation. See what 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 they doing. Um, it's a good way to stay young
Mhm.
when you have those conversations, when you engage with young folks. It just keeps you up on things.
Yeah, they keep
And
you
then
connected. They
they
keep you
keep you
connected.
connected, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I didn't know how that is how that worked. I didn't know what them letters meant.
Hmm.
Um, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, and then you can also drop a little knowledge on them as well. You know, you hear some of the things that they doing, and you can be like, yeah, man, be careful of this, or watch out for that. Keep doing what you're doing. Just be reticent of some of these things around you. The way certain people are moving. Just notice. Just keep your eye on things. So it's a give and take. It's a it's a nice give and take.
And you know what? They hear you. They just may not listen right at that point because they probably not put in a situation where they have to listen, but they hear you when they need it. They kick in. Because I mean, I spent 18 years working in the school system, working with middle school students. Like you'll be surprised to see them when it be 10 years later. When you had them when they was a 13-year-old and now they're 23 years old, man, I haven't had a bad experience yet. I'll be proud of all them kids because they grow into who they're gonna become. But you just gotta plant the seed in them. It's gonna grow sooner or later, and they'll be all right. 'Cause I probably got like about out of all the students I taught, maybe like five like negative stories with bad endings, but some of them actually surprised me because they actually listen and they tell me that they say, "Well, I remember you used to say this, that, and that." I'm like, man, I don't even remember saying that, but they hold on to the things that's important to them because once, as the old saying goes, they don't won't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and so if they
Mm,
know how much you care about them, they'll run through the wall for you.
right, right. Oh, I love that.
Me too. And as a matter of fact, even as you both were talking, like when you even talk to them like there's somebody, like as
Hmm.
a person that like you're listening to them, they'll in turn listen to you. Because a
Amen.
lot of times people tend to take the mindset, I'm older, you need to listen what I say and what I do. And that kind of puts that wall of defense up. So they're
Exactly.
not listening. So, and it's just like that quote you just gave. When they know you care because you're listening and you wanting to connect and stay part of, okay, what's going on in the culture, in the this younger
Yep.
culture a little bit. Stay
Yep.
stay in tune. That's saying, okay, you interested in my world, so now let me be a little attentive to this little wisdom that you applying. Look,
Hmm.
it may, like you just said, it may not be something I want to do right now because I'm young. But it's sit there and
Yep.
it comes up.
Yep.
Mm.
It comes. I like that. I like that. I like that. Because listen, what did Whitney say in the song? The children are the future, and we definitely, we got to invest in our future, and we
And
already see where. Say that
I'm
again.
gonna cut you off. A lot of their resistance to like to listen to older folks, it really comes from them from school. Because a lot of them schools don't be set up to where you got to meet them kids where they are, because they got different interests. And once you show them that you interested in what they're interested in, man, they'll
Mm-hmm.
change course for you and do the thing that you need them to do. But you can't just kick their interest to the curb and try to get them stuck on just the one thing that you trying to get them to do, because that's part of the reason why I walked away from it, is because I just didn't believe that, like, towards the ending, as I got older. Now, when I was 30 years old teaching, that was different because I wasn't that much older than them. But now I'm 50 now, so I'm way older than them now. But those kids, they getting judged by the wrong metrics, because like you could have the best kid in the world. He might be the best kid in the world. He might have manners. He might be very respectful and everything else, but he might not like the subject that you teach. So you can't judge him based off of that. You giving him a grade. If you give him an F, you tell him he'll fail. He really not a failure. He just don't want to learn that. That's not his interest. So it's not set
Mm.
up. It's not really set up to bring the best out of them, because you forcing something down their throat that they're not interested in. And then they see the people they look up to now. They see people making money and don't even really have jobs and stuff like that. And I mean, that's the point of everything that we do. You got to make money to be able to survive. So it just takes like, and if they got somebody like in our age bracket that understand that, man, you ain't gonna be able to get rid of them. I used to have kids cut class to come to my class and know they're gonna have to do more work in my class, but they just wanted to hear it from me because I can relate to them a little more. But I ain't gonna lie, the ones now, the COVID messed the kids up, man. So I mean, that's what kind of pushed me away, because when you think about it, like the last 2 years I spent in school, those were the kids that were like in second and third grade, in the first grade, trying to learn on a computer. That ain't good for somebody that young, because they're not at that age where they could be that responsible yet. So like that hurt them, like going way down the line. So like you'll have eighth graders on a third grade level, and like out of all the years you see it during the last 2 years, it really made sense because they probably was in third or fourth grade when they hit that roadblock trying to learn on the computer. So it's just like a lot, and like the schools don't do enough to kind of support them, and in my experience. So that's why I kind of just walked away from it, because I didn't want to be a part of nothing that wasn't going to be all the way impactful to them. So what I do, I just teach like little entrepreneur courses and stuff to to kids, or even they don't even have to be kids. They could be young adults, just to kind of get them like a kind of like a little guideline to how things should be done. Because a lot of these kids have some serious talent, but they don't often know that they could turn that talent into a business. They could be helping their parents and everything just from something that they like to do every day. And so it
Hmm.
always takes somebody to like to give them that knowledge, because I mean, we didn't know when we was growing up, like the pathway that they told us to choose when we was growing up was to go finish high school and go to college. You can't have that conversation with everybody child these days, because they might not want to go to college, but that don't mean that they're gonna be a failure, because they got too many other things that they can do. That's like my profession. My profession didn't require me to get a degree. I have one, but to be a tax professional and insurance agent, that's a small investment, man. For $500, a $500 investment, you could take both of them courses, and you could take off, and you can make millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands, or whatever potential you're trying to reach without going to college. So it just be kind of it's just different these days. And like I can adapt to the change, but I ain't gonna adapt. I'm gonna adapt to it in a way where it's gonna help the children out.
I like that. I like that. And as a matter of fact, as you were talking in my head, and I'm like imagining in the chat that if Miss Sylvia Standback was here, she would be like, well, that's why I call it the public food system, because they not trying to help educate the kids, for life. They just trying to program the kids. Because remember, what did Rockefeller say in the 50s? He said, I don't want a world full of workers. I mean thinkers. I want a world full of workers.
Yeah,
So it's really a programming. The school system is really a programming, and not even necessarily a programming to help them reach their highest and best good. So
yeah.
that's interesting. Okay, so before we get in our talk, I was hoping to get Daryl and Troy on too before we really dug in. But let me go ahead and do this. So the last several weeks, we had like these talks have been straight out the gate, like TTG level, like we've been trained to go. So I hadn't even been able to share our little fun, quirky days or our mental health tip. So I want to give a tip today, especially with this being the last Wednesday of the month that will be with you guys because due to the holiday. So our mental health tip for today: relax and reduce stress. Finding ways to relax is crucial for mental health, whether it's through meditation, reading. I'm going to also add, especially with Rondi on the line, yoga, or spending a quiet evening with loved ones, as we were just talking about family. Taking time to unwind can significantly decrease stress levels. And as part of your mental health tip for the holiday season, which is often marked by joy, celebration, and togetherness, it can also bring stress and busyness as well as emotional strain. So be sure that you're caring for your soul during this time, which requires intentionalities, as letting the rush of activities overshadow your well being is easy to do. Know this: the time we spend caring for ourselves lead us to caring well for others. Now, I love fun food fact. This is corny to me, but y'all know all these food days have been corny. It's National Maple Syrup Day. Yes, syrup has a day. So, yeah. I know, right? We can't even say nothing to that. But it's also, and I didn't know what this meant until I looked it up. It's National Say It Now Day, which is a day to express gratitude and appreciation for loved ones by telling them how much they mean to you. So rather than waiting for a special occasion or until it's too late, it encourages deeper connections and spreading of positivity. It was created by Legacy Plus in honor of Walter Green. It's a day that encourages actions like phone calls, heartfelt notes, or simply saying I love you, emphasizing that expressing feelings now creates lasting impacts, which is interesting with us just talking about, even talking to the kids, having these effects now, mentoring these children now, being role models and positive influencers on them now can have an effect. Like you said, Kevin, the kids told you things that you didn't even know that you said, but when you plant that seed, it's sitting there ready to come forth when its time is ready. So good stuff there. And so now our question for today, and to the viewers, if you in position to type, question for today: what is an unexpected life lesson you have learned? What is an unexpected life lesson that you have learned? Viewers, please feel free to share in the chat. There he is. Hey, Troy.
What's up, y'all? It's been a minute. Happy to be back.
Happy to have you back. You'll have to tell us about your trip last month. Thank you. Actually, you popped in at a really good time because I just asked the question: what is an unexpected life lesson you have learned? So, who wants to jump in and answer the question first? What's an unexpected life lesson that you have learned? Ooh, that's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It is. I feel like the most recent one is that, you have to depend on yourself. I know that, we like to have, it's nice to have community. It's nice to be in community. It's nice to have a brotherhood, nice to have a sisterhood. But at the end of the day, you have to depend on yourself. When you start to look at others, you can't always depend on other people to show up as you would. And so one of the things I've noticed or learned over the years, no matter how tight I am with different people, at the end of the day, what's most important is that I maintain what's needed for myself. And it's not that I can't carry everything by myself, because I can't. You still have to have some help. We're not meant to do it alone. However, when it really comes down to getting it done or having some understanding, you must understand that it must be you that must show up. And so it's something I'm learning as I get older. So.
And you know what, Troy? It's kind of like you was reading my mind, because that's why I was about to go with it too. Because like everything that you do ain't gonna be reciprocated. That's just something that you gotta just live with and deal with, and just kind of manage how far you go with people. Because they may not go half as far for you as you would go for them. So I do agree with that, like 1,000,000%.
Mhm.
Amen.
Nice.
I think for me, so often in my life, especially when I was younger, was trying to be someone that I wasn't, or trying to be someone who I thought others thought I was. And um, and and just realizing that the best version of me was when I was truly being who I am, and not trying to um, be what others thought I should be. Right? Even with family, we all kind of have these roles in our family, and your family starts to see you a certain way, and you start to act that certain way, and that may not even be you, um, and so once I realized that I was kind of this chameleon, really changing my colors to fit a situation, and it it just never really felt right. It was always kind of a little bit uncomfortable, until I was like, I really gotta be myself. And then, the more I was myself, the more happier I was, right? It just made things so much easier for me. And um, I think others kind of like me more as well, right? I think they saw the authenticity, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I like this version of you. I like, you know." So yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. Was just realizing, being um, who you really are, being yourself without influences from others, and not really um, caring what, or not letting others influence who you are.
Love it. Oh my gosh, love this. Shelly, anything pop to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of like I kind of was kind of feeling what everyone said, but now I think about it, I think the hardest lesson for me was learning that everyone changes. Like I always thought, as a kid, me and my partner, we all gonna be the same, but everyone changes to whoever they're gonna become in life. It ain't always good, it ain't always bad, but nothing stays the same. Only thing constant in the world is change.
Thanks.
Mm.
Good stuff. The chat didn't give me anything. That's okay. That was a tough question. For me, if I were to answer that question, I definitely can take a piece of everything that each one of you guys said, and especially Rondi, trying to, me it was living to people please. I just spent my life trying to live to please others, because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, and lost myself somewhere along the process. But the biggest unexpected life lesson that I feel I personally have learned, um over the I'm just gonna even say over the past 5 years. I'm gonna give it the past 5 years since COVID. I'm gonna say since COVID. I have really learned how powerful I truly am. I have learned that um that I am a creator. We all are creators. We get to create our reality, and there's definitely spiritual work that has to be done, but it wasn't never explained to me that way. It was always um you have to do this to be able to get to where you're going. So just the fact that I learned that if I really truly meditate, tap into my power, I can use it to live the life that I desire, which I am constantly doing on a regular basis. So ultimately for me, my biggest unexpected life lesson is that we are really truly God in these bodies, and it's up to us to live according to the purpose. And I've learned that I wish Miss Sylvia was on the platform. I've learned, like, hey, karma is real. There's things that our souls are here to really experience, and it's really about growth and development, growth and expansion. So those are I learned basically a lot of spiritual lessons that hadn't really been taught to me the way I the polite way to say is that I needed to hear, but I guess I got it when I needed to get it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
All right. So, question for you guys, especially since I have a platform full of men. I want to ask this question: have any of you seen that Diddy documentary?
Yeah, I have.
Anybody else?
I've seen, I think it's 4 episodes, 4 or 5 episodes. I've
Mhm.
seen the first 2 episodes.
Okay. So, Troy, Shelley, no
Yeah, I
go.
seen it. I see
You
it.
saw it.
Uh-huh.
Any comments that you guys have on that? I definitely want to get men perspective, because me, the first thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you guys talk because it's your talk. I First thing that I see is a man who really has a strong hatred towards women. That's one of the things that I see in all this. And there's a lot of anger pent up in there, that even with him being incarcerated, if he does not get therapy, I don't think that's gonna be good in the long run. Um any comments on it, guys?
I'm gonna say I didn't see that he had a hatred towards women. I just think he had an ego bigger than it should have been. But I honestly want to know, like, not taking nothing away from what he did,
Mm-hmm.
but did he deserve 50 months?
Woo, that's a loaded
I
question.
mean,
Because
I can say
everyone he
what.
was with participated. They willingly did it. No one was forced. Everyone had the opportunity to leave, tell, go, stop, whatever, and they chose to return and stay.
And Shelley, you correct, but I think it goes back to what Tammy said at first, the karma, man. Because I mean, the way he beat the girl up on a video or something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
50 months is better than getting your brain blown out. If she had a brother or something like that who could have came to her defense or something like that. And then a lot of the other stuff that he did, I mean, you can't just go around doing wrong forever
yeah.
and
No,
just think
I believe in
that ain't gonna
karma,
happen.
but
Yeah,
I just hate that it's always when someone's under the gun, all the attention's on them and no one else. So
yeah.
him hitting any woman for any reason is definitely out of line. But one, we don't know the other end of the argument. Not justifying it's definitely out of line.
Hmm.
Two, she kept coming back. So did she like it? But it obviously wasn't that bad to her. So why would it be so bad to us?
But I mean, that power is like a drug, man. It seems like the more money he got, the more stuff that he did. I mean, so some people, like you said, his ego, he
Mhm.
couldn't keep his ego in check. That's what I really saw out of it. Like the
Yeah.
more money he got, the wilder that he had. So something was gonna have to bring him. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way we was raised up. At a certain point, something gonna stop you. So for him doing 50 months, he's still living. 'Cause I
Yeah.
mean, I'm from New Orleans. If he'd have beat on somebody's sister down there like that or something like that, that could have came the other way. Not just saying that's the only place, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's like a common response to stuff like that. So I
Right.
mean, he still got a chance to change himself. Whether people gonna accept the changed version of him if he really changed or see it as authentic, he still got a chance to do that. So that's like the kind of bright side of it to him. He ain't got life or nothing like that. 50 months, they could have given him more time than that. So, I mean, with all the stuff that he did, I don't see that as that bad because, I mean, we all know people that then went to jail for less and got more time than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he may when we talk about the 50 months, he may accept that more than accepting a financial loss,
Yeah.
Right.
because now you're messing with his power. He's still, in control of everything,
Mhm.
Yeah, there were no checks and balances with him, you know. Um, Once he figured out, and I think a turning point was when he had a business partner, and he asked for those stocks back from the
Yeah.
business partner,
25%. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that was the turning point. There was no one to check him about anything. You know, yeah.
But can we talk about how he acts? He really didn't ask. He went in with a bat. So, like, he all he knows is violence. And hold on, I want to read the chats before I go into my next comment. So yes, Miss Mia, she was answering the question that I asked earlier. What you put out is not always reciprocated. Yes, we can agree with you. Now Shelly Avi Marie says, yes, I agree with you. No, he did not deserve 50 months, but he was not charged with domestic violence. And then Wood Sprite says, yes, he deserved 50 months minimum. To me, I'm going to say this after looking at that documentary. Now, that's the problem. That's the problem. Based on what he went to court, what he was charged with, I feel he got away with a lot because even just the idea that I always felt from the beginning he had something to do with Biggie. I always felt that. I didn't know into this documentary about Tupac. So even if he had it, and it allegedly, let me use my words wisely. Allegedly, if he had something to do with Tupac, that means he has literally gotten away with two murders, two unalives, and um and again, I know he wasn't on trial for that, but 50 months for two unalives, I mean, and some of the other stuff that he did, I don't know. Yeah, it just don't sit well with me.
This, but this feels like, like giving OJ time for stealing taking back his memorabilia. Like, hey, whether he did it or not, it wasn't the question. That wasn't what he was on trial for this last time. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's spending time and getting the extra time for stuff that other stuff. And so that's not what he's on trial for right now. That's all I'm trying to say is like, yeah, I get it. I get like all these other things that he's possibly done, but we can't throw those in this bucket because that's not what he was on trial for.
Yeah, you're right. And we'll end it with this. And now they've given him street creds.
No, they ain't gave him that. He's a weenie regardless.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, come on now. A lot of them rappers want to have, go do time so they can have street creds, and so now he got street creds behind him. So,
but you know
but
what? That was part of his problem why he did some of the stuff he did when they talked to the people that know he was trying to get street credibility
Mm-hmm.
that nobody wasn't gonna never get him. So I just think that like I said, he got a chance to start over. He might not be as big as he was or whatever. It might have a negative impact on him, but he do have a second chance. So it ain't like they gave him life. It ain't like nobody killed him or nothing like that. So he gotta be a man and own up to the stuff that he did and just make the corrections that he got to make. Because I mean, 50 months, like you say, 50 months on the karma side. Like I agree with what Troy was saying. Like that's not what he went to court for. But on the karma end of things, I mean, something gonna catch up with you sooner or later. That's just how I feel
Mm.
about it. If you keep on doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And somebody and it was put in the chat. Yes, allegedly Biggie, Tupac, Oh, I hadn't heard Heavy D. Kim Porter and Erica Kennedy. Yeah, and then true, he was on trial for racketeering, and that was proved. Yeah, well, and he won't even be doing the whole 50 months. Y'all already know he's gonna get out of that. He's gonna get out of that. Now he don't have street creds.
Well, I think he better be careful because he can end up kind of like OJ. OJ, whether or not you thought he was guilty or not guilty, he was found not guilty on that first on that murder, but then he should have just like gone on with his life, but he didn't. He Canada, and then when they got him again, they were like, "You are not getting away. We are going to really put it to you." And I think that's the same thing with Diddy. He better try to keep it clean because they're not gonna. You're not gonna have the same. If you end up doing something, you're not gonna have the same. They won't have the same leniency that they did this time.
And I know he's trying to change it, but Diddy was never a gangster or street dude to begin with. So 50 months, trust me, he's not happy. Exactly. He ain't gonna come out thinking he tough. He's probably gonna come out what they say he been doing to boys. He gonna come out the victim this time.
I was gonna say he probably gonna get extra doses of menses around there, huh?
Yeah.
well, somebody put in the chat. He hopes he better hope no one takes him out when he is released. But you know what? I was told, and I don't know how true it is. I'm only repeating hearsay that even like, well, because you know, in the prison system, they can only show like the local channel. So somebody was saying they showed the documentary on ABC so that while he could see it, he could see it, of course, himself while incarcerated. But I would think even if other inmates, you know, because people were crazy about Biggie. Let's just stay in New York. We ain't gonna even go to the West Coast. If you in incarcerated with a bunch of people in New York, and then they find out that not only did you really probably have something to do with it, and you made Biggie pay for his own funeral, what kind of shady crap is that?
That's what I'm saying. He ain't in there having fun. Even if the word got on a phone call, you know what he did with Biggie? He trust me, he ain't no street cred for him, or ain't no he's paying for it, believe me.
Okay. I will take that. I will take that. Okay. I hope this show. I want this.
He ain't a normal guy though, Shelly. He paying for protection. Trust me. He ain't a normal guy. When you're a billionaire, bro, you ain't nobody touching that.
But y'all think when you paying for protection, that's when you most scared. So he's not happy. He just ain't touched.
Yeah.
He ain't walking around there with his chest out.
No, he probably not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. I want everybody to answer this question. Chat. Okay. Well, especially those who've been following us for a while. Fellas, I want you guys to end a debate that me, Cole, and Shelly had going on one time. Is this Shelly or is this Hank? This dude name is Hank. Who he look like to y'all? Who he look like to?
These cats gonna try to tell me, boy, that don't look like me, man.
Come on, y'all. That don't look like Shelly.
Come on now. That's a YN Shelly right there.
Thank you.
And they look, the whole face and everything, just angry because Shelly now is happy, cool, you know.
Man, hey, regardless, that dude don't look like me, and he got a tall Bud Ice. Cut it.
I'm just saying. man, Shelly swear. I was like, Shelly, do you have an alias page? Cause that is you. That is you. He claimed that. I was like, you.
Tammi Cola, boy, y'all done started.
Okay. All right. Now, y'all know I have a video for y'all to watch. Okay, so let me put this video up, and I see somebody. Wood Spice said Shelly. So that's Shelly with an alias page. I don't know why everybody see that Shelly but Shelly, but usually that's how it works.
Number one, me.
Oh, look, a soldier's dream said, "Nah, YN Shelly had a baby face." Okay, y'all. Okay, breaking in some humor. Okay, so let me play this video. And I want you guys, this is going to take us into our talk for tonight. Let's see. You
don't always got time to get it right. Most men don't know when they've actually won. I remember being with a woman that was so amazing. Nothing to compare her to. She saw my potential. We were so aligned too for a minute. But I didn't realize who I was even standing in front of. And she was the kind of woman that you really only meet once if God is generous, and never again if you're careless with her heart. I still got my moments, y'all, where it still haunts me, still gets me. Family loved it. My mom put me to the side one day. She says, Alexander, that's going to be the kind of woman that breaks your heart and leaves if you don't become the man that she deserves. I was too immature. I was too wounded. I was too disconnected. I was too in my head. Accountability felt like an attack, and healing felt like a chore. And I feel like I just had time to get it right, y'all. Before y'all ask if I double back, man, I tried. After the growth, after the healing, after the heartbreak, I became the man that she saw from day one, y'all. But by the time I reached back out to her, she was already married to a man who didn't hesitate, to a man who was proud to be with her, to a man who didn't need a tutorial to handle her heart, you know? And he treated her like the blessing. Like he prepared for that. Like he dealt with his wounds before she walked into his life. And then it clicked for me, man. It really clicked. Women don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because their heart cannot take another round of whatever you are putting them through. See, a good woman will hold on until one day she sees a future without you. She'll see that she's free, peaceful, and unbroken. I realized that this woman didn't walk away from me, y'all. She walked back into herself. She became open to a man that could treat her right. And that man is not my replacement. That's her reward, because she finally chose peace over potential. And that's the day that a man learns. It's the day that I learned that blessings don't leave, they just relocate. Know that she's out there being good to him. And I love that for her and him. Love on God.
All right, fellas.
This dick.
Don't. Oh, go ahead. It's y'all talk. Go ahead, Shelly.
This man done wrote a whole book. Like, what he said was the truth. We all done had that one that we fumbled, messed up, that, you know, someone done got her. But he just put way too much on it. Like, cut it out, dude. You know, inflated a lot of women's heads. They're going to get disappointed one day because.
Yeah, I mean, it go both ways. The women do the same thing. I mean, sometimes you just don't be ready for some of the situations that you get into. If y'all ain't moving at the same pace and on the same page, that can happen. But I don't, you know.
Yeah,
to me, it ain't just gender specific to a man, because women do the same thing.
Yeah, that man don't know how her new boyfriend's treating her.
Exactly.
Or how she's cut it. But no, on the subject, we all have lost it. I got one or two that I'm like, damn, I messed up. I mean, that's, yeah. He just put way too much on him. He needs a golden globe for that. I bet he got some that night. One of his called. That's called chick bait. Someone called him, was like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean." She thinks she done fumbled on me out there, just lining them up, knocking them down.
You know, I was really hoping to get some positive feedback out of that video. But
that's why I said he told the truth. We all have had that one where we like, dang, I messed up. But it's not always necessary because we were wrong or she was better. It's just life. He might not have been mature. She might have been. There's so much to go into it. But on a generic level, I think I got one or two that I'll be like, dang, I fumbled. Now, because I'm mature, but how would she have acted now that I'm mature?
Exactly.
Because she sure was loving me when I wasn't.
Okay, so right there.
You are a different person now.
Yeah.
Okay, so right there. Because I guess I wanted to have a conversation around the fact that pattern that he talked about is familiar in the male gender, male race, whatever I want to say. But because I have even heard guys say this, like I had a cousin a long time ago. He like, oh yeah, I know I had some good women, but you know, I'm not gonna settle down with one person or this, that, and the other. So it's like, let's have conversation because that is something that I feel is an energy that has been put out in this universe that needs to be corrected. I say corrected because people can't just keep subscribing to the, hurt other people mindset and, okay, identify with the immaturity. I taking advantage of a person's heart. Maybe that's where I'm trying to go with this, because I got so many thoughts, but Shelly is in my head right now because he didn't just give a response that I was thinking that was going to come forth, but Shelly is Shelly.
But Tammi, the main thing, like about the dude was telling the truth from his point of view, but to me, you look at intentions. I mean, if he did the stuff that he think he did intentionally, or just because he just was a younger man. I mean, I wouldn't, and like Shelly said, you don't know what's going on with the lady and the other man. That ain't much nothing to even be worried about. That shouldn't even much be a concern about whatever she done with somebody else, because you don't know the dynamics of that relationship. That could be way worse than the situation she was in with him, but she just might be rolling with it for a certain reason or whatever like that. So like he just was worrying about a little too much.
I can agree with that. And Will's probably say I can't with y'all. Cause y'all. So I guess I guess I'm just not gonna get. I don't know. I just feel it's something that I was expecting to hear out of that video, but I guess I'm not gonna get it.
That's a chick flick. That's like, y'all women are so, like, you guys are so emotional and caring, and like I bet women heard that and was like, oh yeah, I wish. Because they know the man that they wish they was with. Like, well, I wish he would have just acted right. I was so good to him. So you guys have an emotional attachment. To men, it's like,
it's like,
that's it. That was it. Like, men are just logical. We know we messed up. We hurt 9 times out of 10 when we got right. We tried to get them back. They said no. So now it's like, what? Like, do women want us to harp on it, or?
Now you say when y'all got it right. Now here's what I will put on the table. I don't, in present company excluded, just in general, hypothetically speaking, do people actually get it right? Because a lot of people get it right to try to get that person back. But it's more so the chase or the challenge of that they can't have the person because the person has moved on. Because at the end of the day, regardless, I do still like what he said, that she chose her peace and her freedom in all of this, because that is what every person, male or female, should be choosing. So, but when is the work gets done? Because this is what I'm trying to really get to. Like, let's have a conversation about, like, what if Shelly, if you walked away from that relationship, and I know you're older, you're mature now, do you go straight to the next relationship? Do you try to do any self-reflection, self-evaluations? How do we move these days? Because the jumping from relationship to relationship, that puts us in those positions, like even Troy talked about, depending on yourself. Because if you ain't working on yourself and you get another relationship, you gonna find yourself back with yourself. So that's what I'm putting on the table.
So I think well, let me just speak for me. If I had a bad experience with a woman where she told me, I realized all the things I did wrong for her, of course I'm gonna self-correct them and try to do better and maybe see if it can work out with her. And if she's already been taken, I'm gonna take those lessons on to the next relationship. So I say, I'm gonna tell her thank you because you got me better for my new chick. Now she loves me. And the new chick might not want all this new person. She, everybody likes something different.
Mhm.
So it's just that.
Yeah, I'm curious to know how long before after him and this girl went their separate ways that he started a new relationship, because he might have had some residual stuff from the first one that, as you said, Tammy, that he hadn't really processed, and now you're comparing, you're you're comparing these two people, right? You're comparing the one you was with and now with the one you're with now, and um, and if you didn't let enough time go by to get that person out your system, there's gonna be some residual stuff that 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 you still may be like, I kind of want that person because they were like this with me, you know. So if he didn't let some time go by and get her completely out of his system, he he still may be like, trying to replicate something, trying to yeah, I want my partner to be like this
Right.
because this person, I know that the way this other person was really fit with me.
So then you have the constant comparing, which is unhealthy. Um, and when you going from one relationship to the next, which, and of course then that becomes a rebound. So a rebound is almost like the worst relationship, or then you could either find it, and then when law of attraction is out there, then you can encounter trauma bonding, because that's worse. You really bonding over that person could have came out of a bad relationship, and because you just came out of a bad relationship, you all are attracted to each other, and then eventually find oneself in that same situation. Shelly, were you gonna say
I
something?
think all those are definitely things that's what I say. Just is based off an individual basis because everybody feels different, things different, heals different, repairs different. So it just depends on the circumstance. But really, what it kind of made me think about is I see why, like back in the day, couples stayed together because, like, if I think about all relationships that I knew I liked or loved or whatever, and she wanted me to change or she wanted something different, 5, 6, 7 years later, I've become that man. So it's like, dang, if you would have just stayed with me, everything you wanted, you'd have right now. So you gotta, so it just depends on the situation. Like, why did you leave? Is it something simple? Is it something, Because people today break up over anything. People break up over, you didn't call me today, so you full of shit. So I'm gonna move on.
I
So
mean to laugh at that, but
mm.
yeah. Well, that's
No,
just
you
like
should laugh at it. It's true.
It's true, very true.
No, it's true. I literally have talked to some ladies, and that's really like how it's that short. It's that short of an interaction. If it's not what, you're not checking this box, you're out.
They
I'm not
listened
gonna
to
give you
that man.
time.
It was like, I know how men should be. I heard him say it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, all of this to me sounds like growing pains. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
It feels like growing pains. I mean,
Exactly.
because like you come into like, we don't come in all knowing. None of us do. Not men, not women, not others, not no one. And so when you going into these relationships, all of this stuff is sort of like how you grow. It's just growing. I'm not going to be the best me, at 20, at 19. I'm still there's a lot of development that's needed there, right? And so it takes time to become who you need to become. And here's another thing. In all honesty, for most of us, you don't miss your water till your well run dry. And then that ain't just with a relationship. That's with anything. That's even with real water. like we can talk about that's with real water. That's the battery on your car right now. You ain't thought about that battery until it no longer works. Now you're like, oh, this thing really does do a lot for me. But that's everything. And so, but it's also a learning process, right? Because when people walk away from you, this is where you really learn how important it is. And this is how you get your life together. This is how you, like, if it's important to you, this is how you learn and grow and get better. And I think all of us go through that, men and women. And yeah, as Shelly said, we all have some regrets at some point. You might look back and say, I lost a good one because my head wasn't ready. I just wasn't there yet. I didn't understand then what I understand now. That's all.
Yes, that's
good.
Yeah,
and women have egos too.
Oh yeah. No. Listen, I can't disagree with you, but I want to read A Soldier's Dream. Put there is also so much more to that post. He has been doing a series on this subject for both genders, and that was just one part of the series. Yes, thank you so much. I did see. I follow him so I can see more. So yeah, I do like what he's doing, regardless of even if Shelly's saying he chick bait, and I believe that. I mean, I still like what he's doing.
The reason I don't like it is because that's not real life. Like we have regrets, but you got to think in relationships is constant growth. So if in my 20s I wasn't ready and you left and now I'm ready in my 30s, they had issues too that they had to develop in their 30s. Even me now in my 50s, I never think I'm perfect, but I'm a lot of ways people said they wish I was in my 40s or 30s. But I'm looking at people in their 60s and like, I want to get like that. Like I'm always trying to grow to get better. So you're always going to improve or you're always going to change and look forward to something new. So if people just go off what you were in your 20s and they leave, unless it's a physical abuse or habitual like cheating, everyone's going to always change or seek to grow to something better. And y'all supposed to stick together so you see the growth. That's what it is. That's why relationships are only for mature and the strong. Because it's a lot more down times than good times, but the good times are usually worth the work from the down times if you grow and mature and understand we're both trying to, we're both still growing no matter how old we are.
That is true. That's true. And you know what? Troy mentioned women with egos. And you know what? I can't disagree with you on that. Like I saw this video the other day. This woman, I mean, literally, and because I know universal laws, I was cringing watching it. But she's like, "Oh, if you don't do this, we not aligned. If you don't do that, we not aligned. If you haven't done any work on yourself, you're not aligned." And just it was like 10 things, like literally you saying y'all not in alignment, which I know spiritually you definitely have to be in alignment with a person. However, also universal laws don't know yes or no. So if you just saying if a person don't do this, they don't do that, the universe is also listening to that. And if you gonna get somebody who you're not aligned with, you're never gonna find nobody aligned with. So I agree with that. Because that I feel that was kind of like supposedly an empowerment thing, but people gotta be mindful of how they say things. Remember, life and death and the power of the tongue. As a creator, again, you create your reality, and you saying certain things that are even contrary to what you want, the universe don't know yes or no. It's an all-inclusive universe. And so I just feel that things like that feeds the ego as well. So that was if he's not doing this and if we're not in a lot, I want us to come together.
But Tammy, that's not just ego. That's some people have unrealistic expectations. A lot of women got that. You can't be you gotta. The man is a human, so you can't have robotic expectations for the man and think he gonna be perfect and this, that, and all that. So a lot of people go wrong with that. Like men do it too, but that's like a lot of how a lot of that stuff arises because your expectations got to be realistic. You got to manage that.
Yeah, everybody's looking. I think more women are looking for perfection in men. Like we know a chick gonna be flawed when we see her. We still like that's okay. I'll work with it.
Exactly.
Women is looking like, well, he this, he better that. He look at the way he this, look at the way he dressed. Instead of looking at it, why don't you lock in and change it or improve it? Y'all don't want to put in the work no more. I just want it already ready out the box.
But that's because that's what they're seeing, right?
Exactly.
Like it's like if you see these things enough, then you start to believe them. Mm-hmm. You start to believe that this is a reality because what you see on the social media stuff, you only see all the goods most of the time. You rarely see the bad. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like all of these couples are out here winning. It looks like everybody's out here on the up and up and everything is great. Look at Will and Jada and how long they look good. Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody thought they were like a power couple. You know what I'm saying? And then you realize there's a whole lot of stuff going on in that relationship that you might not, we still don't know the end of, right? But the reality of it is like, they live these public lives and it looks one way, but it's not necessarily what you think it is. And I think that's what a lot of people are being sold. So when you're talking to, these younger, ladies and stuff like that, and even the older ones, because they get caught up in the bullshit too. They start to think that it's something that it's really not. Like, like it's just unrealistic in general. And like, it's like, hey, and then, hey, and if you listen to people, even down to like the way that they look at themselves, I don't hear men, like if we were to ask ourselves tonight, hey, how do you rank yourself as far as like your appearance? Like a lot of guys aren't gonna come out and be like, yo, I'm a 10. I'm the best looking mofo you ever seen in your life. We don't move like that. I couldn't care if you called me a 5 or a 10 or whatever you want to call it. I couldn't care less because at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I'm not gonna be moved by that. But for ladies, if we were to ask a panel of ladies, most of them would say they was 9s and 10s, right? And that's so unrealistic and bullshit because like by whose standard? Like realistically, like I mean, like we wouldn't even put ourselves in a position to act like we were that. Like, and I think it's just that just goes to show you how disconnected and unrealistic we really are, because people can't really be realistic about that even their own appearance and how they even look and how they appear. Like the fact that you feel like, hey, I'm the creme de la creme. Like I'm looking for a 10 to be like supermodel, unbelievably next level. And yet you look at yourself to be on that same at that same level. Yet you ain't been in no pageants. Nobody ever put you on that pedestal. How?
And most of them don't like themselves. They can't even look in the mirror and naked and be like, I'm perfect. They filtered up, maked up, because they know they ain't that, but they walk around like they is.
And here's the thing. But here's the thing. We would take that 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, right? Like we cool with that. We not tripping on that. We want that. What are you talking about? But you not even realistic with yourself. Because we're not looking for a 10. That's probably not what I want. That seems like a lot of maintenance. And that's something I really don't.
That real 10 gonna come with a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of baggage with that real 10. If it's a real 10.
Hey, Troy, would you 10 personality, but the rest is a 3?
I mean,
I mean, I have fun with her. Like we can hang out a few times,
I mean, you wouldn't know about it,
Yeah, you couldn't really think it. But no, that's not who we wife is. But and I've said this before, and I truly believe it. everybody thinks God is so perfect, which is fine. So God put everyone here for a reason. So, everyone, men and women, everyone can't be a 10. Everyone can't be this. Everyone can't be that. Everyone can't be white. Everybody, like even fellas, like, what's up, king? What's king? We all can't be kings. Everyone's not a king or a queen. Like, everyone has their role to play in the community. And I think women are more, not to upset no one, delusional of their role or position in society. Because y'all lie to yourself every day about how y'all look, so we know you're gonna lie to us.
One thing that I think that this guy didn't do is that he didn't decide that, okay, I have to up my game. And I think if he had took that type of stance, like, okay, look, I wasn't ready, I need to change some stuff within me. And then maybe if he changed those things within him, he would have attracted that type of person he's looking for.
And
who's to say that he didn't?
And didn't know it?
No.
And who's to say, now that I'm not with you, I see all this stuff in you. But when I was with you, you didn't bring that type of man out in me. I might not have been the problem. You might have not have brought out that man in me. Because I got a new chick and she make me want to do all this. But I just see the potential in you. So I'm like, or we might have connected mentally, or we were best pool partner, whatever it may have been. So I'm missing those moments. But women gotta think. I tell them, especially these women that want money and trips, like you don't bring out the financial side in me. So or you don't bring out the polite side in me, or you don't make me want to open your door when Jesus. And vice versa, women probably see us and be like, oh, he this, that, he don't make me want to, whatever it may be. But
I look at these situations and I have to put them in real context, right? When I'm really looking at a person like this that is coming out and making a video as such, what I'm looking at is a person who's looking for an emotional ploy to get more clicks, to get more people to buy in. And the way that you get people to buy in is by doing something that'll bring out some emotion. And I think that what he said was solid in the sense that I think that hey, like I said, this is growth. This is what something we all go through. We all grow hopefully and over time. And I think that's what he was doing. But I think at the same time he put it out there, and maybe he put in a little extra thoughts and stuff like that to sell it well. But come on, man, we all know, stop the cap. Like we all know this is just part of the game to get women to understand a little bit more about maybe some of the inner thoughts. Maybe these were his inner thoughts, but this ain't that I don't really buy all of the stuff he was saying, in the sense that I think yeah he went through that. He probably felt it. He probably messed up. We all have, but that's it.
So Troy, he put off an L Cool J. He sang "I Need Love," huh? When L Cool J went from the hard man, and he killed him for "I Need Love."
Yeah,
huh? That's what he did.
Yeah, and then women came flocking, and they dropped they panties, threw panties at him and everything. That's all. That's what he did
and
right
went
there.
Home and argue with they man. Why you can't be like that?
Right. That's what he did. Hey, and I think he was right, Shelly. I'm sure he got some he got some good coming up after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After he did that, he planted some seeds, and they was like, "Ooh, I wonder if he was thinking about me. Was it me?" He went back and got some get back after that. He capitalized on that. I'm about to put out one of them videos.
Yeah. Well, when I had you, I didn't recognize the BB. Now I just wish I could have you back. I give it all up. Take my phone now.
I think we should all do one of those. Hey, look, we should put out one tonight. We should all do that. We put out something similar to
and look sideways at the camera and.
Okay, I'm cracking up. Okay, so something we said earlier, but they said the person, God's Girl for Life, say that's not most women. But Shelly, she asked, what women are you dealing with? And put the crying, laughing faces and the hand hitting her head. And then she also added a lot of these men influencers post things like this for clickbait, which is pretty much what y'all saying.
Well, I'm gonna just say, me, like all men, we deal with who we want to deal with. Like, and I think I'd be too real on this, but a lot of men we date for can.
No,
Just
go
because a
ahead and
girl
finish.
ain't
I
the
said
one
that's what
don't
we
mean
want, but go ahead and finish saying what you were saying.
Just because a girl we know isn't the one doesn't mean we're not gonna talk to her no more. Like, we deal with the flaws because we know it's not a long-term situation.
Yeah, like, this one of the moments I should have been on the phone. It should have been a camera in my face because I just did a whole blank stare. There should not have been a camera in my face. I'm like, what?
Am I just y'all don't let me sink? Am I lying?
I think, you know.
I think the ones that's quiet is dealing with one of them now, so they don't want to mess that one up.
Nah, I think that the energy you put out there, you know, that's energy you're gonna receive. Um, um, uh, I don't really come across them type of people, of folks, just because I don't know. I just I for one, I ain't got the patience for it. And I just I'm like, I'll hard left you in a minute. Like, woo, I'll duck and dodge and spin around, ghost you and vapors, you know, just because I just don't have the patience or energy to deal with 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 that type of energy. And most of the folks that I do deal with are on par with my same type of energy.
And
And
that's
and that's the energy that I put out. And so that's the energy that I typically receive back.
right. I to correct myself, what he said is so true. What you put out is what you get. So a lot of men and women, not everybody's looking for a relationship, so they're not putting out relationship energy. So they're not attracting relationship men or relationship women. So it comes with the flaws and the BS, and you deal with it because that's the energy you want. Not everybody's. It's only a misfortune when someone looking for a relationship runs into someone not looking for a relationship, and you have different expectations, and someone gets disappointed. But if a guy is attracting women that aren't relationship worthy, he's probably not looking for a relationship. Or women, y'all women that date a man just for dinner, just for bills, just for a ride, whatever it may be, and you're putting out, I don't want a husband. I'm just, we just doing our thing. And y'all and women won't admit it, but you guys know y'all have 3 or 4 on the roster. If you're not looking for a relationship, you have 3 or 4 on the roster. All of them serve a purpose, and that's the energy you're putting out towards that person.
Y'all on a whole nother level. But Rondi, let me ask you the question that you asked Troy. 10 in the personality, 3 in the looks department. What you going with?
I look, I could, I could, I could.
Come on,
I
come
could,
on.
I
Same
could. I could probably override, that that energy that or that physical part of me that says, I want this. I want to be looking at this thing. because I'm really going to feel. Now I sound like that dude in the video. I'm really going to feel. I'm going to feel with my heart. I'm gonna let my heart guide me, not so much my eyes. I'm going to really let that be.
Stop the cat, Rodney. You know.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's
You
filming
can't
it
even
because
get
he's trying
your
to,
story together.
he's a man, so the truth want to come out, but he's like, let me answer this politically correct.
Rodney,
I could excuse a few, not forever, like, and this is something that women gotta understand too. What's a 3 to me is a 10 to him, and what's a 3 to him, to me, I might think is the baddest thing on the planet.
It isn't about eyes of the
This is true.
beholder. That is true. That's true.
However,
ain't no man gonna wipe up no 3. He gonna try to, but in a minute he gonna be like, that first argument, he gonna look and be like, I don't even know I'm dealing with this.
Right.
And then it's gonna be the beginning of the end. Might take a year or 2, but it's gonna go downhill from there because he already locked in on it. And now he's
you definitely got to be attracted.
Yeah, now he's looking at the 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and like, I could have that. I could have that. So you're gonna go home and start some stuff anyway. And women too. Y'all put up with a lot of stuff, and then when it gets thick, y'all ready to throw it in a man's face or on your girlfriend. I did this, and this dude don't even woo. Like, that's just, I think it's human nature, and I don't think people like to live in reality. We want to live in a comfortable, safe space.
Yeah, I definitely don't know. I think you got to be attracted to that 3, because otherwise, you do have to have something that you're attracted to that you really can lock in on. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't lock in with that person, and you can't look eye to eye with them and feel like, hey, this person is completing me, or I feel good, because like nobody, whatever you go out, let's just be 100% honest. If I'm gonna go out with somebody on my arm, I want to feel good about it, right? And it take me back. I'll never forget. I ran into this man. I was walking the streets, and I ran into this man. And his woman had a reckless eyeball. She was looking real hard, and she was looking so hard that he looked. And when he looked at me, he was like, "Hey," like he confronted me about it. And he was like, "Hey man, why what's up?" And I said, "What you mean?" He was like, I see you looking at my lady." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I looked at your lady." I said, "And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was looking at how good you winning over here, boy. I want to be like you." And I threw it back at him. You know what I'm saying? And we both ended up laughing about it or whatever, and it was cool. But my whole thing is like, you want somebody on your arm that is gonna be attractive, that you feel good about it, you feel confident in, right? And because don't nobody want to be, have somebody beside them and everybody looking like, what you doing with him? Or what you doing with her? Like, you don't really necessarily want that. I mean, I don't know how it is. I mean, maybe the older you get, the more it's about companionship and you really don't care, but I ain't there yet. I still got it. I still need it.
Facts. Oh, that's good. This is good. No. I'm older, and I'm with you. You definitely got to be pleasing on the eyes. You got to. That's good starting point. Oh, I love this. You are absolutely right, God's girl for life. Time is a gift that you cannot get back. I agree. I have no patience for time wasters. LOL. It definitely takes too much energy, and absolutely. And when people realize energy is everything, your energy is your power. So you got to be mindful in your time. You can't it's valuable. You cannot get it back once you lose it. Okay, so I want to ask this question, and it's been a minute, and I still won't get through all the questions that I have on my list. So they'll probably keep rolling over. They've been rolling over for about 3 months now because the talks have been so good, which is a great thing. But the video that I had sent you guys about 2 plus months ago with Cam and Jason Wilson. Jason wrote the book, The Comprehensive Man, 10 Steps, the Man the Moment Demands. I want to ask you this question. You guys probably don't remember the video, but I want to ask you this question just as a general conversation, and I want y'all feedback from this question because this was a takeaway that I had, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. Jason talked a lot about controlling sexual energy. In today's time, why is that still hard to do? Why do men still feel they have to be promiscuous and risk even their current relationships, or in his word, partially due, which is partially due to mommy daddy absence or mommy issues? Any thoughts or comments on that? Those that one question with multiple parts to it.
Is it nature? Like I think it's just nature. I think we're advanced enough to where we can control ourselves, or we can make the right decision if our spouse is the one we want to be with. But I think it's just nature. Like it's like asking, why do you breathe? I don't know. Uh, you know, I'm not. I want it, so I'm gonna go get it. And is my situation worth passing this up? Or am I like Diddy and my ego so big I don't think I'll get caught? But the desire is just natural from nature. The control is a matter of, like discipline, or what are you, why are you controlling yourself?
I think there's a certain I think there's a certain amount of lack of intimacy. And there's physical intimacy, but there is a spiritual and emotional intimacy that I think sometimes that may lack in a relationship. And I think that part, once you really develop that part, that emotional, spiritual, intellectual um, intimacy, then you, the physical part of it, um, it's enjoyable and it's great, but it's not the whole thing, and it'll be hard to um, to be venturing out and have this physical relationship. You're gonna feel unfulfilled. You're still gonna feel unfulfilled, right? Um, so I think when folks can develop all aspects of intimacy, right? I think that 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 keeps that wandering eye. What do you call that? A wild eye, Trey? What do you call it?
The
Let me
reckless
ask you
eyeball.
this.
Reckless eyeball, right?
Let,
Yeah,
let me ask you this. That situation is definitely true when you with someone you want to be with. When you think you found the one, then you want the spiritual, the connection. But let me ask you this: if you had a girl that was a 8, 9, 10, but the sex was whack, would you consider being with her forever?
No,
Okay, smoke.
no. We cannot get over the physical part about it.
So that means for us,
It's just it's just
it's
what it
about
is.
sex. The sex, the spiritual and the connection comes when you're in love with the one you want forever. But just on a first meet, or I didn't meet you with the intent of, I didn't see you and be like, oh, there's my wife, but let me see where this could lead. The physical has to be on point, base off the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah. I think we are pretty simple creatures, and we tend to have one way to get to the promised land. And I'm not like we have to go through sex to get through those other intimate parts. Once we like, oh yeah, this is a good sex partner, great sex partner. Oh, let me start to develop these other things, right? A more evolved being will be like, let me evolve some of these emotional stuff, and then you know um and hopefully the physical part will be just as dynamic. But for us simple folks, right? We have to go through the physical part, and once that is dialed in, now we can build upon that and get into some of the emotional and um, some of those other intimacies.
And Rhonda, like you said, to me it just depends on what stage of life that you're in, what stage of maturity that you're in. You're a change. 'Cause like some of the stuff you saying, like it's possible when you older, if we 50, but when you 21, that's gonna be all physical. If you young like that, you leading with your eyes. Everything gonna be based on what you see. And once you get enough of it, then you be able to develop them other behaviors that's gonna, help you respond in a more mature manner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. When you're young, yeah, it's all physical, but at some point there's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
You're like, I, I don't, it wasn't that great anymore, you know, just because that physical part only gonna take you so far.
And you're right, but that's after so many doses. After so many doses, you'll get to that.
And that's when the spiritual and the
Yeah.
emotional come into play, because you know what you have, and now you see what you don't. You're missing it. Even as a man, after a while, we do desire like to be like, dang, I just want to lay up or cuddle, or I want to when I get next to her or touch her, I want to feel it on the inside, not just So it just depends on where you at mentally,
Mm.
Yeah.
or who you're with.
I had a friend, he would call it, he would always tell me, I'm looking for a connection. And I never really understood what he was talking about for a long time. And then over time, I started to understand more of what he was talking about. And then I started looking at and evaluating even the relationships in which I've had. And some of them, were great, you know what I'm saying, wonderful, in some ways. They brought maybe the bedroom piece, but like the intimacy piece is different. You got a cool chick that like to watch football, for instance. That's cool, but I don't need you to be over here like my homeboy on the other side of the couch. I need you to be up close. Otherwise, what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And I think that like those are the types of things that like that intimacy matters. And I have to agree with that like 100%. Like what Rondi's talking about as far as like bringing that in. It's such a huge piece of relationships and going to that next level. And I think that really happens or should happen as you get older. You should want more of those things, and the quality of relationships and what you're bringing in, because it doesn't feel good for you to just look good. Just looking good ain't enough, or just being a freak ain't enough. Where's the rest of it? Like, because I still need to feel good in other ways, and that's how you keep a person in. You keep them engaged, and I think that that needs to be taught on both sides, right? Both need to understand that, like both men and women, and I've seen on both sides where that's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? So I've even had these conversations with some of the mentees that are older now, and starting to talk to them about like what that looked like to them, like the difference between having that deep intimacy and connection with a person versus just something that you might have bought. Like this,
You know what we called it when we were younger, and it's dawning on me. It was chemistry. As I said, we y'all don't have that chemistry. You felt it internal, not chemistry in the lab, but inside of your body. You like, as women, I could look at and just be like, dang, I like her. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that chemistry when she come around. It's like, there goes my baby. Like Usher said, there goes my baby. Like those are feelings. That's chemistry. And people don't talk about that no more. It always starts off with what he got or what she could do, vice versa, however you want to see it. It's never chemistry. It ain't no, like I was saying on the last show, your body will tell you everything. So when we were young and dated, whenever you was walking through the mall with her or something, you wanted to hold her hand, not because you thought it was cool. You needed to feel like your body would tell you. If girls done grab my hand, I was like, this kind of feels weird, but all right. And then girls, it just felt perfect. So, it's just the chemistry. And we don't have that no more because 90% of it's online. And you got to pass the online test first where you get to the person. We don't take advantage of our senses no more, and things of that nature. Even sitting next to a person, she over there, I'm over here, and like, sit here. I want to know, chemically am I feeling? Are we vibing together? Do it feel good to be next to you? Even if I just met you, am I comfortable? Is my body at rest? Or am I wondering what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Shay.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm like, this is well.
You started it, Rondi. This is good conversation and good talk, because I will say, like, a lot of times when we have these conversations, we don't talk about real solutions, and I think this is a real solution of something that we really need to be talking to our young people about, like, because I think this part has been left out of the conversation about what that intimacy means, that part of intimacy, and how that connection actually matters in relationships, because that is what gets that long term going. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to always be the person you are today. As we were talking about earlier, we all change and evolve, and you might not be into the same things. I might not be into that, that quick whatever. I need to have a connection with you nowadays. That's more important to me. To be able to look in your eyes and really, really feel that feeling. And I can't really tell you what that feeling is. I just know it when I feel it.
Feel it, yeah.
And
and we'll say you ain't gonna get it going to the bar on the first date, or even going to dinner. And it's people that are like, let's sit down and talk. And it used to be back in the day, it'd be like, come through. Y'all sit on the porch, you sit on the couch, or you go to the car, so you can know how do I feel? Like, what's the feeling I'm having here? Now it's text me a few times. It's like I'm just thinking of something mundane to say that every dude doesn't say it. That's why we say, what you doing all the time? What can I say when I ain't even, I don't even know how I'm feeling about you other than what you doing or what you want to do. Let's get there.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard this one time in a movie. You guys can remind, I don't know what, you guys probably seen this movie, but he said, I need a woman to raise my intellect as well as my loins.
Coming to America.
Coming to America, right? And so when you can have someone when you have a mind orgasm, right? That's the separator. That's the one that makes them, you set aside, okay, oh yeah, this one right here,
Yeah, that's what it make you say. Where's she
at? I love that. Kevin had to go pick up his daughter, so he had to drop. But and that's what we want to get to. We want to get to the energy where people will take that time, invest, and get to know people, the person that they could potentially be interested in building something with. But there's just such an energy of division in this world right now that makes it so hard. And just like Troy mentioned, we need to figure out a solution for that. We need the conversations. Yeah, we talk about the problem. We need to talk about solutions to help change that. And I feel there should be more older role models, more healthier relationships forming. But just as you guys said it about, like, no, let me say it the right way. It's just like, it's almost like people are set in who they are, that they're not willing to even bend to find out what's really going on because of the way society is built. Like Shelly, you talked about, how can I get to know a person if you texting and, like, people go on the porch and talk, but you got to think today's time, people can't just invite you over their house because you don't know who people are. So you might have to start with that text.
But I'm wondering, is it that you can't no more, or is it that the one or two bad situations that have always happened over time are now present every day in your face online? Every bad situation that's all you see on your social media. If guy trips, girls crazy, this, that. I really think those are one in I don't think they're happening as frequent as you see them. So of course we're all in fear of that, but I just don't. Maybe I believe the world is better, but I just don't believe that. I don't think every man these chicks meet is like that. And if they are like that, it's because you're meeting men solely on a cash basis, and he probably is. If you meet a dude and all y'all doing is texting and he shoots you $100, $200, something's wrong with him. So yeah, he's gonna stalk you because he you don't put a value on it.
Well, I like what Rondi said earlier. Rondi said, I put out an energy that attracts a certain type of individual. Because at the end of the day, law of attraction 101, that which is like unto itself is drawn. So if people really start doing the work on themselves, I was really trying not to get into this because this is y'all talk, but like really, if people really do the work on themselves, you're going to attract that and possibly more, because you gonna attract. Like, I know a situation whereas a person, the female is in a bad marriage, a marriage she don't like, and involved with a guy that's in a live-in relationship that he don't like, and so clearly law of attraction done pulled you two together because y'all both in unhealthy situations. Whereas this is going back to what we kind of said earlier, like work should be done on each individual, and I feel the situation should be cleaned up before you try to get involved with anybody else.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm not too all that. You attract what your energy is and all that. I think it's deeper than that, and it's not the attraction. Because if you're a good person, everything's attracted to the light, good, bad, and ugly. Everybody wants the best. But when you know what you want, or just say Ronnie in his example, not only is that his attraction, but when he sees a woman, he automatically factors in the flaws or what. If she's not what he wants, then he's not even going to approach it. It's not necessarily is she attracted to him. He know what he wants, or a man, period. I know if I'm looking for a wife or relationship, I know the qualities I want. So if I'm a good dude, it's 100 women come to me. I'm only going to zero in on the ones that fit the description of what I'm looking for.
We become so reactionary sometimes in our search,
right?
And instead of just observing from afar.
That, and so many people now are in it to gain something. It's I
Right.
like her because she got money, or she like him because he do this. So they're going at it wrong anyway. So of course nothing good is going to come out of that, because you didn't have the discrepancy to factor into flaws. You wanted something out of it, so that's all you seen.
Yeah, you saw something shiny and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get that.
Yeah.
And instead of like, okay, I saw that shiny on Tuesday. Let me see what it looks like next Tuesday. Let me
Yeah.
see if that shine is still there. Oh,
Yeah.
it's still there. Okay.
Or my
Well,
girlfriend, like, girls, we got money. Get you a man with money. You like, is what are you after? Or dudes, these Instagram models are only successful because men are there's certain men is like, I just want to look at that body. To a real dude, that ain't that's just a plus. That ain't what zeroed me in on this chick. So it just depends on how superficial you are or what your goal is in that, you know?
right. Yeah. I take the Obamas, Barack chose Michelle and she is dynamic, right? She's beautiful, smart, but I sassy, like, don't come for her, right? And that part can be sexy, but the way she comes off with it is like, I'm still a woman. I'm going to be a woman,
Yeah.
but
Still in her feminine.
yeah, she will cut you, deep with that tongue, right? You be like, oh boy, I done messed up now, you know. So I think their relationship is kind of a great example of like, and I don't even know, right? But from the outside looking in, she just seems like like a really dynamic person to know and to get to know, you know.
One of the things you make me think about with her, because like, if we be at 100, I don't. I wonder how she looks at herself, and the reason why I say that is because like I know as men we all are like look at her and it's like, yeah, she's dynamic in every way, right? But I don't think we look at her like, hey, she's the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. I'm more attracted to all the other things about her.
Well, we know
right?
she's not the most beautiful at all, but her
Right,
personality,
but
her stature, the way she sits, quiet, listens. If it's some funk, the way that tongue will come out and be like, "Hold on."
right.
Yeah.
That's my point. I mean, but that's my point exactly. Is that this is how like think about how we look at her, and most of us look at her with awe, in awe to some degree, right? But it's not because she's the most beautiful, like most attractive woman you ever seen in your life. You're attracted to her because of so many other things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? It's all the other things. It's the personality. It's the way that she carries herself. It's all of those things that brings you in when it comes to her. And that's what I guess I'm getting at is like, men are still stupid attracted to her, but for the right reasons, like like different reasons. Like it's not about her necessarily look, so to speak. And I think that's what I was getting at about earlier, because it's like, this is where a lot of like people have inflated views of themselves and stuff, and she doesn't need to. She's just her, and she still stacks up amongst the top because people are attracted to her personality and all the other things in which she brings. That smart, that witty, that home cooking, that real woman.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I handle the kids right. Kids look good. They've been raised right. It's the package.
Yeah.
And I've always noticed, if you look at most 9s and 10s, they're not married.
Especially nowadays. That was a time where, like, I think earlier, like years ago, where, if you was a 9 or 10, you was guaranteed you was gonna get a ring, right? Because somebody was gonna swoop
raised
you up
by your grandma, and you have manners and silence and respect for men. So of course you got everything nowadays.
Well, respect for yourself. Let's also say that. Let's say respect for yourself, right? Because like that's also a piece of it. You could be a 9 or 10 and you come outside and you look like you're a worker. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's how you carry yourself too. Like, because that lady that's covered up and give me something to imagine, that's way more attractive to me. It's way more attractive when you're a little covered up, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to figure it out for myself.
Ain't no other men seen it either. So you like, I want to be the one to see it.
Right. I've been thinking about getting me one of them women with the hijab
on. all you got is this. That's all you got. This all
I want her. That's all.
Yeah, I saw one today. I was like, see. I don't want. My homie said, "Don't you got that tattoo on the back of her leg?" How you know? So all this, she her skirts go to it.
Randy, I saw one today. I was like, I'm about to figure out how to get it. Then all I could see was the eyes. I was like, that's good enough.
Yeah. That's good enough,
once again,
right?
The energy, you want to get close to her to see if are you feeling what I'm feeling? Is this is this chemistry here? We ain't gotta see each other. Do we feel it? Am I feeling you?
Yeah. That makes your imagination vibrant. You be imagining and thinking, and oh yeah, I bet this is yeah.
Because you have no idea what's in that wardrobe.
That's right.
Nothing. Ooh, yeah.
Y'all see, I'm just sitting here with my smile on my face because
maybe it's something to it.
Huh?
Like I'm just saying, I'm just realizing it's something to it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is why you stay covered up in all that garb, because the reality of it is it keeps you from being this physical specimen. You know what I'm saying? It leaves something to the imagination to want. It leaves something desirable there. It leaves something for me to actually get to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I really want to get to know who you are, because all I can see is your eyes. I got to get to know the rest of this. And I'm gonna have to work probably to, you know, figure out what the rest of this look like. But neither I don't know, and nobody else does either.
Yeah.
My
look,
yoga.
that could be covering up some very even some bad teeth, but you wouldn't know because this.
Hey, we gonna find out, and I'm gonna work to find out. I'm gonna work to find this one out.
Touche.
And guess what? It won't matter, because even if they were bad, y'all ain't gonna never see it. She gonna still wear all of that other stuff to cover it up, so you ain't gonna never see nothing but eyes.
Hey, and not only that, if they is bad and you as sweet as you look, I'm gonna get them fixed. Whatever the problem is, we gonna fix it. Don't worry about that. You ain't got no style, I got it. Your teeth messed up, I got you. No one can see this or have this. This is mine. What do it take?
We can save some money on all this designer clothes. We just gonna get us some you know, some robes,
some fabric. Just go get some fabric. Some fabric, because you know how to sew. just go get some fabric. Put together
because
your
you
costume.
know when you get home and she take it off, you know what you got coming. Yeah.
I think I just found my next woman. I see what I need to go hunt for right now.
Y'all sound like Eddie Murphy talking about going to get him a bush bitch. Y'all play too much.
But see, that's the women don't. I don't know. Y'all are so. I hate you've listened to so many other women. You don't believe how men feel when they tell you how they feel. This is how we feel. And then they'll see the one that's showing it all get the attention, and they'll think she's got it. No, she's trying to. Dude is trying to knock her down. They ain't in line to wipe her. They in line to see. I seen it jiggle. I want to see, can I make it jiggle, right? So y'all see that and be like, I got to get like her. Look at all the dudes after her, ball players, everything. Yeah, they're not wiping these chicks.
Okay, well, first of all, that comment was for just say a lot of women, because all women don't fall into that category. So
I never said all women. I said most women listen to their friends.
I promise you, I am one who really, I'm very selective about who I listen to. So I would definitely, and you know me. Anyways, so let's bring this in, because this was good, and y'all saw I shut up so y'all could talk. So ladies,
what did you take away from that? What did you take away from that conversation?
That's what I'm getting ready to tell them, ladies. I guess one of the takeaways is maybe we need to cover ourselves up more so they can only see our eyes, so they can get to know us. But you know what? Okay, all right. I'm trying to wrap this up because it is 9:30. But you know, I do agree. The days of leaving stuff to the imagination is gone. Because even when y'all was talking, I was thinking about like when y'all was talking about Michelle Obama, I was thinking about Sexy Red. And for some reason, like dudes at one point was like, it's just something about her. Like she is, and I'm just like, huh? But you know, I don't know what energy she was putting out there to them. So that's why I couldn't
work for it. She already telling us what it do. So let's just get the energy was we ain't got to work for it. That's an easy target.
Oh, that's what okay, yeah. And so but definitely some of the takeaways, leave stuff to the imagination. But and honestly, on both sides, egos need to be monitored in check, because it really is important to I'm going to insert a word that wasn't used tonight, emotional intelligence, when we're dealing with each other from both perspectives. And I'm also getting not communication, and not necessarily via text. Don't expect guys to act or do what the other person did. Do, like, pick up, talk, get to know a person. Consider it holding hands, so energy, so Shelly can know what your energy like. Do y'all mesh? How do y'all feel together? Hold on, I'm getting these takeaways now. I'm getting them together. Definitely be mindful of your time with, that you're investing in. Of course, the time in between relationships. Take the proper time, and this is actually for both men and women. Take that time, because Rondi was talking about, like, the guy video. He don't know how much time the guy took in between getting involved with somebody else, but of course Shelly them was saying that was a chick bait moment. But even still, if it was a real life scenario, one would want to take time before getting involved in another relationship, because all you're doing is taking baggage, and then you just building on to the baggage. Did I kind of sum that up?
I think you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. I tried. I listen. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. So let me go ahead and do my little round robin and say good night to let the people go. Rondi. Tell the people, give us some final closing words. Tell the people how they can get in contact with you if you choose to. Oh, and by the way, guys, I am working with my one of my girlfriends to come out to Cali. So hopefully, somewhere before the spring, I'm gonna make my way out there. Y'all. I'm gonna definitely let y'all know.
Yeah.
Only thing is, Shelly would tell y'all, I'm not coming with just my eyes out. Okay.
Oh man, then you don't need to come at all. You don't need to come at all. This is what I was hoping for. I was definitely hoping for all that.
Yeah.
You know. Oh,
just my eyes, y'all. Just okay. All right. Shelly hung out. Oh dang! I should have put one of the pictures me and Shelly took for my birthday, because we all hung out on my birthday.
Tammy's a grown woman now. She's a grown woman, a full grown woman. Believe me.
Grown woman. I got you, Shelly.
Grown woman. Don't get it twisted, man.
Man has the right to look at a man like.
She also Michelle Obama over there. I got you.
Yeah, she's a full grown woman.
Okay.
Right.
She know it though. You'll see. You can tell when she know it.
I'm humble. I'm humble.
That's our problem. We're supposed to appreciate that. Ain't no humble,
I do appreciate it because I work hard to do what I do.
Exactly.
But
so ain't no humble. Nigga, this is me. What's that?
So anyway, so hopefully I'll see you guys sometime after the first of the year. I'm gonna try to get out there by February, March at the latest. So
all right.
All right. So Rodney, what final words you have for the people and how they can get in contact with you?
Yeah. I want to go back to the very beginning of this conversation, when you talked about today is the day of some health thing, and your health is your wealth, and it is so important that you make that a priority in your life. So important. And I'm a yoga teacher. Within yoga, I don't know if you guys know this, but within yoga, which falls under the umbrella of yoga, it's meditation and breath work. Those are all parts of yoga, right? And so studies have shown that doing intentional breathing, there is a direct correlation, not a causation, but a correlation between doing certain breath works and longevity and reduction in illnesses, reduction in stress. You reduce stress, you reduce the the capability of getting diseases, and it makes you happier. It makes your life so much better. So yeah, find someone to help you, a video, a person, a studio, do some breath work, get into meditation or meditation techniques. Meditation is really hard. It is not something where you just sit in a room and just be still, blah, blah, blah. It's much more complicated than that. But you can do meditation techniques. So yeah, I would love to connect with folks. Chocolate Buddha Yoga. I'm also on Instagram, Chocolate Buddha Yoga, Chocolate Buddha Wellness, and love being here. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Shelly. What you got for us?
I'm gonna piggyback on Rondi because I just to show just of how important it is health. Like I don't think people could stress enough how important your health is, especially me now that I done hit them 50s. Like it's important. So whatever your form of health is, capitalize on it, take advantage of it. That should be a key because you don't want to be key health. That's what I'm gonna say is health. So reach out to me. That's on the screen on my Instagram, Shelly.solutions. All your real estate. I think I'm trying to get more homeowners. And the market is never better than it is now. Everybody's waiting on interest rates to go down. That means house prices go up. And if house prices go down, that means interest rates go up. So the time is only good at that moment. So capitalize. And if you have questions, basic questions, hit me up. There I am. That's it.
Nice. Good stuff. And my man Troy. What you got for us?
I got the same thing I always have, everybody. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love on yourself. Love yourself enough to take care of your health. Love yourself enough to put yourself first. Put your oxygen mask on first. And then worry about everybody else. That's it. Love yourself. Love yourself. Don't compare yourself to nobody else. You're special just as you are. You're who you need to be already. Do the work for yourself first. Once you can get to know you and love you, then you can love somebody else. But until then, don't even try. So
that's good. Dang, and ended it gangster. If you don't love yourself, don't even try to love anybody else. But you know what? You're right. You're right. People have been looking far too long for others to love them when the real love starts within. And that good one. We can drop the mic on that. Okay, guys. So I'm going to bring this in for those who don't know me. I am Tammi B. I am a coach, spiritual mentor, and transformational speaker. Would love to work with you one-on-one or be a part of your event as a panel guest speaker or MC. Go to www.thassawoman.com. It's also in this YouTube description to get more information. So, as always, with much love and gratitude, I just want to thank everyone. Thank my guests, thank my viewers for being a part of this amazing conversation tonight. Thank Kevin for joining. Thank Daryl who wanted to be here, but got held up and couldn't in as well. Thank William, who isn't with us, but he's missed also. And also, again, if you're not part of our community, I invite you to subscribe to receive future notifications as we are here weekly, 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. And also for the free 99, yes, the free 99. Please support us by dropping a comment or giving us a thumbs up by clicking the like button, and share this with others to help us get the word out. And next week, guess what? That's the week of Christmas, and the following is New Year. So we will be on vacation and will not be with you all. So in advance, I wish everyone a safe, happy, and Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. You see, I'm going to be Mrs. Claus on Tuesday. So y'all send me some Christmas vibes. So this is my little prelim to it. So, but I'm wishing everyone the most happiest, healthiest, blessed, and prosperous New Year. Now, in closing, I leave you guys with this. 5 tips for good mental health during this holiday season. 1, get enough sleep. 2, don't take on too much. 3, everything in moderation. 4, stay connected with loved ones. 5, perform an act of kindness. And I'm going, look at Troy. Hey, Santa. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And I am going to add a 6, because especially with Rondi mentioning yoga and telling you guys the importance of it, I'm going to add this: stay grounded and hydrated. And as I've also learned, just as you pray over your food that you eat, bless the water that you drink. Water symbolizes life, purification, renewal, and deep emotions. It's also a conduit for creation, cleansing, transformation, and the subconscious mind. So do your research, and I'm going to drop this word and I'm going to say goodnight. Look up 3-Eye Atlas. It's a comet that's coming through this way around the winter solstice. It's 3-Eye Atlas. Google it. Do your research on it. But it's supposed to be coming to bring a lot of good positive energy. And the water is one of the transformations of that energy. So do your research on it. So listen, again, happy holidays, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Yes. What you say? Mama make me smile.
My
mama makes
smile.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it. I love you guys. Have a most wonderful holiday, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the new year. Peace and blessings.
Good night.